Hi, I'm Elly. Oh, good morning, everyone. And today I just decided to do it. Today I'm going to get this video for 1 hour. Okay, I am going to read real many books. So just don't worry. And if you're tired listening, then you can just stop this video and you can listen it again too. I I hope today I'll get this record real great because I never have had a video with 1 hour. Okay, now I'm going to read you a story. Wait a minute. Do you guess what today I will? Do you know what will I read you today? Okay, and today I'm going to read you a story called. Wait a minute. Pets. My Pet Slime Book 5. Did I read it? Another Cosmo to the rescue. Are you ready to listen? Okay, I'm going to read you the story. My Pet Slime Book 5. Cosmo to the rescue. I was just at this school again, and I love Cosmo with doing those stuff. I usually spend the time with Cosmo, and Cosmo's the best. And Cosmo's the only friend that I have, so I don't have something much to do. Just doing with Cosmo is the best. So I just really guess I need to understand and spend the time with Cosmo. You always need to know what kind of Cosmo love it. Cosmo's a real great and cute one. I just really just love it. So, and I was just spending with Cosmo, and I had a really not great feeling. So I just really sometimes have bad feelings. So don't feel too bad. So always don't matter those stuff. And sometimes I'm real mean. Sometimes I'm really not that mean, but you can sometimes think that I'm mean. So don't matter. I really just are like that, and I really love Claire so much. Claire will be so great because Claire has real many things. Because Claire has real many things, and I really love Claire because Claire will be so great because Claire has almost everything because Claire has even a phone. My mom and dad says it's not great to have a phone on this young age. So I just really sometimes don't love my mom or dad. So I guess sometimes that's the wrong thing on my mom or dad. I don't like the way of my mom and dad thinks that I am. So I guess sometimes I really don't know or love that stuff. So always need to remember, and I hope my parents just excited me. Just I guess my parents always understand why am I doing like that. And one day I just tell my parents that I don't love them. So I don't think they're going to really love me too. I think they aren't going to let me do. So I really don't love that kind of stuff. My parents, I guess if I really say that way to my parents, I think they won't give me more. So I think that's the point because they won't be able to give me, they won't be able to get me the phone. This phone's a real great one. Claire already has phones because her mom and dad thinks she needs phone. I really think Claire's so great. Claire will be so great if she's having a little cutie one on her life. I really think so. She's real great, and I always sometimes said to her that you're too lucky, but I'm really not. Then she says, yes, sometimes I'm lucky, but you need to think that you're lucky too. But I really sometimes don't believe her, because if she's lucky, but if I'm not real lucky, so I think that's the point of it. So sometimes you need to think like that. So always need to think so. So just think so like that. I guess it's the greatest thing to me. Just feeling like that is the bestest thing ever, but just don't always mind me. So I just saw Claire having a phone, so I just looked on her phone, and she said, and I really think you're so lucky. Then she said, oh really? I think so too. Because my parents let me have a handphone. You really are sure lucky, I said to her. She said to me and smirked. Yes, I guess I am, she said. Yes, you're true lucky, I always tell her. So she said, don't matter that. It's just your choice. Don't matter that. It's all your. You don't choose your parents. Yes, yes. I'm not the one who choose my parents and be bored. Yes, I guess you really need to know and see that stuff. Yes, I really need to look and learn from you, Claire. But Claire has a cell phone, so she can call anyone. So I really love it, as she sometimes see videos. So that's the greatest part of the Claire's handphone. She has a handphone when you can see some videos sometimes. I guess that's the greatest part. Huh. If you're feeling something bad in the mood, then just tell your parents about it. Then I guess that's the bestest part, well, ever single of my life. In my life, I think that was the bestest time ever. So just always don't mind and just get used to this show. Just get used to it. Then you'll definitely know what's really wrong with you and what do you think has been wrong. Really? Yes, I always. Just doing the stuff, and I just really want to make Cosmo a house. Making Cosmo a house is the greatest thing ever. So I just get this part of it and make some kind of box to do that stuff of right. Then just you really need to understand who's doing and what kind of things you are, what kind of people you are. So you need to know. And I sometimes love Friday froyos every day. So how about you? Do you love Friday froyos? I love it. But sometimes my friend, but sometimes Cosmo really don't know what's a Friday froyo. The Friday froyo is a real delicious thing. But why Cosmo doesn't know that? I really don't know why Cosmo don't know that, but it really is a delicious thing too. And sometimes Jello is real delicious too. Do you know Jello? I just really love Jello real much. I really almost many eat it at cafeteria time, but Claire thinks Jello's feeling like wheat. I don't know why she does not love Jello, but well, every people is different. Well, but I can't really understand who doesn't really love Jello. I mean, who does not love Jello? I mean, I can't understand that stuff. I mean, who really doesn't love a Jello? Then you need to say Claire. Claire hates Jello the most. You just ask someone who hates Jello, then Claire, there's going to be no one who really hates Jello like Claire. Just always remind that. And I am going to warn you. And if you ask Claire, "Do you love Jello?" then she will say, "Oh boy, you love Jello." She will tell you like that. Just don't get too sad. She's always like that stuff. So be never mattered. I always just tell her that Jello is delicious, but she really never believes that kind of stuff. She has never tried, but she always thinks it's yucky. Oh, she always thinks that I am really worried about you. So I don't know why, but she said I'm real worried about that because you have to do it every single day. So I don't know why do I need to do something every single day? I don't know what am I going to do it and what in the whole world of people are doing. But you just sometimes need to believe someone too, but I know why Claire hates Jello. She eat the Jello on a whole another world. I mean, United States Jello is real great, but she eats Paris Jello. I mean, you won't. I mean, have if you don't haven't eat the Paris Jello, then you will understand. But oh, really, Paris Jello is really not not delicious. You always need to know like that. I mean, no. Just tasting it is just feeling weird. If someone will taste it, then whack. I guess that's the thing what you happens on your firstest day of it. So just always remember that. Sometimes some jello tastes real great. So you really need to sometimes understand some jello. If you sometimes eat jello, but it doesn't feel any, I mean, when it doesn't not feel good, then it's got to be a real not great Paris jello. Just look at the instructions, then it's gonna be the Paris jello after all. You always know that stuff, right? I sometimes know stuff, but so if you just know so, it will be if you find out. Really, Paris jello is real like wheat. So you really need to taste it. Oh, it really tastes so weird. You're not able to taste so. Oh, it's not going to be really that delicious. I think it's not delicious to me, but it could be delicious to you. Well, every people are different. So just don't matter that stuff, but always matter that stuff. Well, need to matter who's going to be needed you. But it really feels weird, so sometimes you really need to know. That kind of stuff is not a healthy thing. Well, after all, well, sometimes it feels weird because Jello feels really weird, so you will sometimes understand, but if you are living in a whole different world, some Paris people will understand that Jello sometimes feel great, but when some people won't believe that stuff. So don't get too hurt of that stuff. I mean, every Paris people think like that, so every Paris people feels like that. So just don't matter that stuff and be always fine. It's just a real path to be on a wisest side. Then you always need to understand. I mean Claire never understands that kind of stuff, but you really need to understand. If you don't understand, well, I guess that's a little bit of doom. Well, you won't understand that how Jello is sometimes a doom because you sometimes think some Jello is delicious. Because some Jello is real delicious. So you really sometimes need to guess. Jello is delicious. Sometimes feel like that. Sometimes you're gonna think that what's the big deal, but always think like that. Being the whole new you is the bestest time ever. Be the whole new you, guys. Just think about what will be the whole new you. So I just really just intend to make Cosmo a real terrific home. I mean, I really love something kind of terrific, so sometimes some people don't love terrific, but I'm the people who love terrific. So don't get too hurt of it. Sometimes I know people really loves terrific. Sometimes not, but sometimes does. Sometimes does loves terrific, but sometimes does not love terrific. So just need to understand that every single day. Just need to notice that. People are sometimes thinking that Jello is not delicious. And so I just really decided to make Cosmo a real great cuddly place to do it. Then Cosmo, I really wonder how I will make Cosmo a real great thing. Just making Cosmo a thing is like that. Sometimes that's not the spirit of it. So I guess sometimes Cosmo will feel like that, but just don't worry about that stuff. Just in case you'll have me, just every people will understand what kind of things we're going to do. So I just decided to make Cosmo a thing. I love Cosmo's things. I just really sometimes notice that. Sometimes Cosmo really loves that kind of stuff. But sometimes she really doesn't. I really noticed that, so I just really need to relax. So I just really need to make her a home, what that's real important. So you really need to understand that stuff. So sometimes just really need to understand as some kind of cool breeze. Need to understand, but you always need to sometimes understand. So everyone need to understand and go onto their homes, and they are sometimes going to need each other. Everyone is going to need every people, and every single one is going to be known like that. Just being on the honest part, but always don't matter that. Just when you're going to need it, that is the part you really need to know and appreciate. Sometimes you really need to understand who are you going to, and whose side are you. And sometimes you really need to know what am I. Then it's going to be a lot easier for you. So just don't matter that stuff. And I'm just having the bestest holiday ever. Just needing a time, and that some kind of contents is a real fiction. So I just decided to make Cosmo a really cuddliest home ever. Just need to make him. Some people won't believe that kind of stuff, but always listen to that stuff when you're doing this stuff. Just always need to matter. So sometimes need to do it too, but understand that the one is a real great place to notice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you just count down 10, then it will just going to make you a real big mind of it. Every time you need to notice that things, because everyone does not have a really thing to remember. Sometimes need to remember a thing, and whoever just gave you a stuff need to remember. Just that's a thing I need to tell you. So now then, if you're going to need a video, monsieur, so then you're going to tell me that you're sometimes like that, but sometimes crazy. I mean, I'm just going to make a Cosmo a real great and terrific home. But what if Cosmo really doesn't love it? Then it's an emergency. I'm going to make this for 1 hour, or sometimes I can make this for some hours, but if that doesn't work, then it's the worstest thing ever. Oh no, then I need to say. Then sometimes you really need to thought like that. Sometimes you really need to think that you're having a real bad time. Sometimes if I make that for Claire, for what will I make that for Claire? But if I just make that for Cosmo, then if Cosmo doesn't really love that, then it's almost like a nightmare. Oh, what will happen to then? Oh, I think that will be the weirdest. It's going to be the weirdest thing ever. So I just decided to and Claire and just going to paint it. The words, just what I'm just going to make a real great. I just painted every kind of color that. So I just asked Cosmo what kind of color does she like. Is he or she? I don't know that, but I just really decide Cosmo's going to need a real part. Now I just decided and asked Cosmo what kind of color she loved. Then I guess she loves a color of moon dust, which is a little bit of silver, and I guess she loves some kind of rainbow colors too. I really sometimes need to guess what kind of things she loves. So, just sometimes need to understand stuff. Always need to understand and doing the right stuff. I guess every time that's the best. Always need to understand everyone. Just need to know when. Who really need to know? I just really can't do that, right? You really just need to understand the real one. And everyone need to understand who's going to need it and who is that? Then if you say like that, oh boy, that someone will going to really need that. Someone will going to really know that. So sometimes some people need to say, I'm not a big fan of some idols. Just need to say like that. Another game just like that. I really love those stuff. Just every people need to know and always understand. Just really need to know. Sometimes need to understand those stuff. Now understand and relieve about yourself. But sometimes you need to understand those stuff. Just sometimes you really need to understand some stuff that need to know it. Then if somebody really loves to do those stuff, if I were you, I really never care. Sometimes I guess someone really doesn't believe those stuff. So I just really getting the cosmos thing right. Making cosmos thing is real long. Doing if there's someone on their stuff, so I just really just need to understand. So I just really just need to know and make it. I just make some kind of color of rainbows and sometimes the sky. Sometimes when you're feeling the sky, it's so great. Sometimes you really need to think. Then what are you going to do? You usually ask. Then there's usually nothing to do, everyone says. So I think that's what happens on your yeah. Just always, what do you love? I really love making some presents for every people. So I really love everyone. I sometimes really need to understand. So some people I will never understand. So I just really decided to make her. Then Claire just told me, and I guess our housebound ringed. It was Claire. She said, let's see at the park. Then she said, so I just promised with her I'll see her at the park. Then we just really decided to do like that. So we decided to do that stuff. Now every people has their duty. So so we decide me and Claire will be doing a real bestest time ever and having a real best time. Okay? So Claire said, come to the park, then I'm going to show you a real great thing. So I said and said to her, okay, now I'll go out and please now see out if there's a thing you're going to do. Then she said, of course I will. So I just quickly get dressed up. So I just really need to go. Just really need to believe this stuff of what Claire said. A little bit of money, but a little bit too shy. Sometimes then don't matter. A real great time. Just spending every day and doing those stuff. I really love it. So I just decided with Claire and said, Claire told me how to use a phone. She said, when you just click this button, it's just going to see. And if I just see my uncle. And she said, and to do. And now Claire said, how to not to tell a secret. What does letter say? I see a post and the letter says, just tell some secret for everyone. It was just like that. So I just think, oh, what? Who made this? That someone was having an open mind every time. Well, I won't understand, but Some ma'am is having a real not great timing. She said, yes, I'm really not having a great timing. I said, and it was, tell your secret to your friend. And Claire said, what does it say? What does it say? Then I just tell to her, it says, don't tell anyone, and just tell someone your favorite people a secret. I really can't understand that. What are you going to do it with your all kind of duty? I don't know, she said. Guess it's a task. I guess so will, I said to her. And she said, just don't worry. Just always, sometimes it's going to be a task. So you really need to think. So she said. So I asked her, really? Then she said, really. Promise? She said, promise. You won't tell anyone, right? But she said, I don't know. Then I said that I won't tell you. I don't really need to tell you because I really have a real bad situation. Yes, okay, I won't tell anyone. But I was just feeling not great, so I just tell her, no, I think I can't tell you. Then she said, why, my friend, why? Then I said to her, something's really not going right, so I think I really need to tell someone. And Claire said, well, then do it. Then you won't learn how to get the thing right. What thing? I mean, I was about to tell you the stuff of how I do it, but if you don't say so, then just don't matter the stuff. Well, it's my bad, she said. No, there's nothing kind of bad of yours. I said, okay, then just tell me, how do you use that phone thingy? I asked her that. She was really delighted and said, she was really delighted, and she said, I said, okay, I'm really too great to tell you, she said. So I asked, is that really great? Of course, I really love it. I really love telling people a thing that I know. Yes, every people loves that. So I just said, yes, every people enjoys telling them what they know. Okay, now how to not tell anyone a secret. Okay, now please, can you do that? I said, okay then. Here it goes, I said to her. Now, I'm going to tell you the biggest part of your accessory. Okay, now, what's the secret? First, then Claire said, then if you don't want to tell the secret, then I'm going to show you how to make how to make a thing. How to do a thing. So sometimes think, just every time you need to understand, some people doesn't understand. So first, if there's someone on your side, next, just always need to appreciate them. Third, just love a people who has a thing. Second, just love your friend having a mind. Then that's going to work. Now, just tell anyone what has your thing is right. So I just tell, I really can't tell you the secret, but Claire, I really need some time, but can I have some time off? And she said, okay. And she said, now I'm going to, her phone was real great with sky blue, and there was some kind of rainbow on her phone case. I really love that. I love some kind of rainbow, and I really want some phone. But my mom and dad said, really looking video, and there will be no one who is doing a thing on age on age really like that. But I just tell her there's Claire, but they always says, what do you mean? Claire's always like that. Do you mean? But Claire's parents are so kind every single day. I told my mom and dad, and they said, that's Claire's parents. We are not going to make you do like that. Why? Why are you doing like that? Then they said, because you're having something weird. Then I just said, why? I really can't. Mom and Dad, please. And they said, no, you're too like that. You can't do it. Oh, really? Yes, then. Just you are a little bit like that, so please. Now I have a thing to say. Now, then, let's just get this straight. Sometimes it's going to know it. Then you're going to know who's like that. You really don't know. Then you're going to really need it. Then first understand. Just need to understand. And if you just know that stuff, just need to understand. Then just understand, then everyone need to say those stuff. Everyone need to understand those stuff, So I just really decided, and Claire showed me how to do that stuff. I mean, using a phone will be a fantastic thing, and I really love those. That will be so great. I really think on and hop on. Then we just get on it, and I'll Claire all over again. My mom said 8-year-old is too young to get one. And I said, well, I'm 8 and a half, Claire said, and Uncle Ricky's number is safe in here. She pressed a button and held up her ear. No, I shouted, hang up right now. Okay, Claire said, and she pressed the button and screamed, but why? Your uncle might be under kidnapped by Grandma. Uncle Ricky would never kidnap anyone, Claire said. Take that back right now. Now I put the hand. And dear Mom and Dad, Claire and I had to go to a little errand. Don't worry, love Piper. I just write that on it. And my pets, now it's time to read My Pet Slime, Book 6. Ooh. Okay, now. Cosmo to the rescue. Scoot. Cosmo was missing. I was really sick and going with Claire, but I really forgot it, so I just get Cosmo again. So Cosmo was there again. So of course I love Cosmo. Being with Cosmo is the best. I think if there's no one, then I won't be able to be with some people. Then I guess Cosmo's the bestest people who has ever had. And I really love Cosmo. So I just really take and I go off with Claire with Scooter. Then I take Cosmo too. If there's a scooter, then I just redo it and just tell Cosmo, oh, now Cosmo, you're so fine. Then she always says like that, but I really don't think so. So I just tell sometimes. So sometimes a thing will be happen. So I really understand the time. So I just really decided, and she said, I really want to have a one, but on third grade they really won't let me. Huh. Just really need to do it. They really won't let me, so I don't know why they don't. So sometimes I really don't love them. So that's why sometimes I hate people too. Huh. Just please, you need to understand. Then just going to need it then. Just do it again. Then do this again and again. So just need to understand those stuff. Then already need to know. Then need to understand those stuff. Then or just say that you're going to do it on your mind. I mean with Claire is always the bestest time ever, so I really, but how could let that happen? Because with doing Claire, I mean that kind of cell phone. Oh, I really love cell phone. I just really tell her every single day, and I really love that. Then just really need to know. Then sometimes you really need to understand. Then sometimes tell you that you're not a big fan of it. Then if somebody really understands that you are a fan, then just tell you, you know something wrong. I'm really not a big fan. Then then they will be so really confused. So they will always just understand like that. Isn't that a great part? I mean, because every people need to understand that. I'm too tired. Oh my god. Oh my god. Just don't worry me. Oh, just it's feeling like that. Oh, let's just get this another started. I mean, so I was just thinking that. So I just really understand to do someone's things. Then understand that. Just don't understand. Just understand that. I just really love it. So we just gone on a bicycle. Course there's of course there's of course there is of course there is Cosmo too. And Cosmo is so cute if he's wearing a helmet. Oh, he's so cute. You'll even ask, oh, so cute. Can I hold it? Just like that. So when you're just going to do it, you're going to be really, really get amazed. So everyone will always believe you. So first, I have something you really need to know. First, don't think it's too easy. Second, just don't know the stuff. And third, just really need to remember the thing. And then just really need to tell them and everyone. Well, then I guess everyone really need to clear something. So I guess everyone really need to know and who's going to have it. I mean, it is like, wait a minute. So sometimes someone will not believe me. So, I mean, I think Cosmo's so cute sometimes, and Cosmo's too stretchy and too cute. Everyone will love her. Everyone will love Cosmo. Who will not? They just tell anyone if there's someone who just bring me someone who really does not think Cosmo's not cute. I mean, who does think that Cosmo's not cute? Then I'm just going to tell them and show the real Cosmo. Then they will understand how Cosmo's real cute. So if they understand every people understands, then they know something what to do. And I really love those people of just during the time, you know, every people's during the time every single day. Just then, just don't make it that too easy. Just always think that sometimes it could be not great too. Then if you're going to think like that, first thing that first thing, just need to remember Cosmo's just a thing. And second, Cosmo's going to need a real great friend. And Cosmo's so cute. So I just really decided and go. But my grandma was missing, so when if I just heard that, I was the one who was very upset because Grandma Sadie is a real great one and she's too kind to everyone every single day. I mean, if you have to just say she's kind every single day, there's not day she's not kind to anyone. Just every day she's fine. And Dad was a one who really was really upset because when everybody said that Grandma Sadie's busy, then he was the one. And the one who was really like that, it was only Dad. He cried and cried and cried and shouted, then where will be Grandma Sadie be? That he always just feels like that. So if I usually never see my dad really crying like that. So I can't sometimes understand. If dad cries, I really just wanted to cry too. And if I just tell that to Claire, then I don't think so that's going to be. Oh. So I just to make it delighted. Denied to make so everyone everyone will think that someone will understand that things. So I really love her sometimes. So I just really, if you just do a time with everyone, then you'll feel the bestest time ever. Just always believe that. So, and Claire, I really want a handphone, but I think it's not the timing. I think really it's not the timing to tell them to say that I really want a handphone. I think if I say them like that, then I think they won't really love me. Oh, and that is a thing that I really can't understand. Sometimes my mom or dad is like that, so oh, I really need some water. But wait a minute, guys. I'll be at a little bit more time, so I really need some water. Too tired. But I am really going to do this for hours, so so I pet Cosmo and I was just at the end of the hall where Grandma Sadie works. I mean, she works on some spaceflight. So she was the one who fly to space. If I just tell anyone that my grandma has gone to space, then everyone just think that, whoa, your grandma's too awesome. And Claire was the only one who think like that. Just don't always think like that. Just sometimes think that you're going to do with this bed I'm going to make it sure for real. Then sometimes looking at a real human and just feeling like that, so I just think it does not really matter. So I just decided to tell to Grandma Sadie, and I really love and I really want to see her. Then she decided she will have a real greatest time ever. So I just tell everyone that. Okay, and I just go to there, and there was real many labs. There was even lab 1, lab 2, and all kinds of labs. So I was really wondering if there's something really not wrong. I mean, if there was something that you're working on that it sometimes never works. So sometimes I really think my parents will believe. And so my parents say, and my mom gave me her phone. And I was just thinking why she's giving me her phone. There was a reason, she said. If there is something going on, then tell me. If you just know. And she taught me how to do and press that button, how to pressing that button, and usually what is going to grate. So I was really great. I was really having a great time. I mean, so I was just believing those stuff. So there was so many ones, and there was many labs. But one lab assistant tell me, "What are you kids doing on here?" Then we say, "We're looking for Grandma Sadie," he said. And that lab assistant tell me, "Oh, you know that Professor Sadie?" And said, "My grandma is a professor." And I asked him. He said, "Whoa, then you're going to be her grand her granddaughter." Yes. But how do you know? I really heard a lot of it. Really? Said then, "I heard that Grandma Sadie's missing." And the lab assistant said, "Oh yes, she's missing." So I asked, "Will I ever find her again? I really have a surprise for her, but I really don't have anything to give her." Then I just asked and said to him, then he said, "Oh, it's fine, my lady. It's fine, little lady. It's fine, and she will be fine. Our rescue's on the way, and some of the people is going to space flight." Then me and Cosmo and they said, "We're going too." Then if we say so, that little one, that lab assistant was jumping on it, but it won't be really easy. And someone who go to space has really need to know what space and what do you need to do if there's something wrong. He said that we tell to then just don't worry. Just don't worry. I just really decided to know that. So I just really decided to know. And I was having more. Now everyone's gonna need it. So when everyone just add a space club, everyone will going to need a club, alright? And so sometimes need to understand that we have a little bit to get this done. So she said, "But then I have my dad." Then he I think he was laughing a little bit and said, "It's too dangerous. I mean, you are a little young too, and so I guess you won't be able to do that stuff." Then I just tell him then we can't do it. Then he said, I'm afraid. So he said so I really decided he would do like that. I sometimes don't understand. So I think that's a person who really needs it. So I said, I am going to do anything for my I mean for my grandma. And then he said, "Okay, Dad, you can follow me." Then I said, okay, if you say so. Then he asked, "Well, you don't love it? Then I guess you won't be able to do and be on my way." Then I just tell him, no, then I'll just follow you. And he said, "That's the spirit." So I just got with him. But I don't know, there was something fishy. But I was just following him. So he just said "No, but you really need training." He, he said, "What do you mean? We never need any training." Then he said, "Oh, no, just telling it." Then me and Claire and Cosmo said, "You can bring a slime to a space." So I asked him why. Then he said, "Slime, then that slime will be able to be alive." And I said, "Oh, then, but this slime's made out of moon dust." Then he asked, "How do you make a slime out of moon dust?" Then I just tell him, uh, uh, so yes, I'm going to tell you the truth. My grandma gives me. "Oh, she gave it to you? Well, moon dust is a special thing," he said to me. So I just said, "Then Cosmo will be able to be with me?" If he wants to, then first ask, but he will talk because moon dust sometimes have feelings, so he will talk too. Whoa, you are really making good stuff. Then I tell to him, "Yes, I make some good stuff." Said, "Oh, now, if you're just done doing those stuff, then, I just tell him, "I'm really good at making, so I really love making slime." And he said, "Oh, yeah, I heard a lot from you. And what's your name again?" "Piper McLean." Then he said, "I think you're really right. I really listen to your grandma." Professor Sadie. From Professor Sadie. "Is my grandma a professor?" "Yes, of course. She's the bestest professor in all over the world." And I just really was confused and just tell her, "Really?" Then he asked, then he said, "Of course." Then who will lie for a people who really loves Grandma Sadie? Of course, well, you will never lie. So I just think so. Then it was the time of it. Then he just said, "Now it's going to be the bestest part." Then he said, "I really don't know what he's saying, but I just believe him." Then he said, "You're just going. Now we space and we flight and find Grandma Sadie. She was on, but I don't understand." And there was a space flight. So I think Grandma Sadie will be there. So I tell her, "Grandma Sadie." Then she cried and cried and, "Oh, here, here." And she would tell me. So we just got Grandma Sadie and home safely. So, but Grandma Sadie saw Cosmo, haha. I think she'll definitely told my mom and dad. But it doesn't matter. It But if I just tell them that I just rescued Grandma Sadie, then they will be so proud they won't be able to yell at me. No, I think they will be able to yell at me, but just really need to. If they don't yell at me, it doesn't matter. Just it's the best time because if my grandma's safe, then almost then I'm safe. And my grandma really hugs me. And I really love grandma. You will love your grandma. What will you do if your grandma's missing? Then what will happen? I just asked. I just say, then you will almost say, I will go to rescue. Then sometimes you aren't going to be able to do those things. Then I just really asked, and we just got it. And so my mom and dad did know Cosmo, but they said it's fine if it's made out of moon dust. I don't have any allergic to moon dust, so it's a real relief. If I was allergic to Cosmo, that I won't be able to ask Cosmo as a friend. Oh, and that would be so weird every day. So I think my mom and dad's too kind. Even though Claire's mom and dad is a little bit more kind, but my mom and dad are kind too. If Claire said my mom and dad is real kind, then I said my mom and dad is kind too, and they said it's okay to get Cosmo. Then she said, oh, really? Then she said, but how about a pet? And I said, I have a pet. Then she said, who? Cosmo. I tell her then. She said, ah, then your parents will be kind too. Of course, I tell her. Then sometimes I'm proud of my mom and dad. Well, although my dad got on some office every day, so he doesn't have any time to see me, but I really love him just during this trip. I really first think Claire's parents were the only one in the world's real kindest mother and pop, but my mom and dad is real kind too. I just really realized that. In section one, not section. And first, do you know what? This thing you think it's fiction, but well, I just tell you that on Paris there is a slime. It can't talk or have feelings like Cosmo, but it really can't sometimes move. Just move it and feel like every 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 animal feels. If you just think that animals don't have feelings, then you're having a real silly one. If animals have feelings too, but slime is not a real one. So that's the reason why slime is not a real creature. But on Paris there is one slime, and that slime is real clever, just like a people. And sometimes that slime really finds where is food. Then doing that thing is the greatest time, I think. Sometimes then, if there's in the future that slime will be maybe on the future, the slime will be walk and talk and do anything right. Won't be that a real great situation? Won't you really love that? When if, then sometimes you can tell and be friends with slimes, just like Cosmo and Piper. I just wrote this book because I just really love Cosmo and Piper. I really love the word Cosmo, and when I was young, I really loved to play with slime. So slime is feeling so sometimes sticky, but sometimes gooey. So I guess that was the bestest part of slime. And everybody thinks that slime is a feeling great part. But what if slime has a mind? Then just don't do anything with the slime. Just don't think slime doesn't have any feelings. Just think slime has feelings like people. Then it will be more fun playing with slime. But you really can't really do that really many with slime. If you do many slime, then you then it's not healthy on your body. Okay, then just do this great. And just like Cosmo, when it's the future, the Cosmo, I mean, not Cosmo, and the slime like Cosmo will be invented. And this is the end of the story. Okay, I've got a new record. Okay, and thank you for listening my story. Bye. Wow. Thank you for listening.